Hello, good morning, Ju. Welcome
Good
to
morning,
Truth for the Sake of
Siley.
Truth.
Hello.
I just love seeing your face. It's evening for me, it's morning for you, but it
Well,
just
honey,
like
that's the
refreshes
mirror.
my entire day.
Sweetheart, that's our mirror. That's all.
Yeah, it
Good
is.
morning,
It's the
dear. Hey,
best
you know what? I
conversation I
should
have in
say
the
to
whole day.
you, good evening.
Yeah, it's my evening, but it's like a morning for me because a new dawn starts when I start
Yay.
talking to you.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
So, today I wanted to talk to you about the most important topic, which is repair of the brakes. Because I think we keep talking about all these different issues, but the real work that we have to do is repair the breaks in our
Right.
mind. And as you have said this many times, that is the only way we can shift our consciousness and move towards our truth. So, before we get into the repair, let's start with what really a break is.
Okay. We are not separate from our Creator, that many call God.
Hmm.
Okay? We are not separate except for the resistance in our minds. We separate from that energy. So if we separate from that energy, from the mind, because of what we've learned, that's our break.
So,
It
it's the
keeps us, go ahead.
same thing as the separation consciousness that you talk about. The separation is the break, basically. That's our break.
Exactly, exactly. For example, let's consider an individual who is expressing lack,
Hmm.
aligned with the wholeness and abundance of creation. We're limitless and we're boundless.
Right.
Okay? Now, an individual comes forth and says, I don't have anything. I am totally broke. I
Hmm.
don't have any friends. I'm homeless. Where do you think that comes from?
So I guess, yeah, as you said, he has this lack. That means
That's
he's
the
not
break.
connected with this abundant energy of this existence. So
And
that's his
that
separation.
represents the break.
That's the break.
Okay? So anytime that we are not aligned with the one of the whole of God, that's our break.
Hmm.
So the disconnection is the lack. So if we're expressing lack, that's what we're creating. That's our break.
Jule, I think the entire world is always in break because
I think, honey,
none,
you are right. That's what's
because
happening.
none of us are actually feeling that we are part of this whole existence or part of God. We don't feel that in normal.
Yes, but one by one, we do make a difference. That's why you're not going to change the world. You're going to change the self. As the self rises to limitlessness, what do you think that we do with the consciousness? What do you think?
Uh, what do you think? What we do with the consciousness? I think we realize the that we are the consciousness.
And we shift that consciousness because collective consciousness is all of us. So
Yeah.
if I shift my consciousness to truth, you shift your consciousness to truth, what are we doing? We're rising.
Right.
And every step of it is rising to the peace and to the joy that's in us. And the
Mm.
pure love expresses. I mean, I love unconditionally. If a person comes to me and they're unconditionally, and they're having a very serious situation, I unconditionally love them to go through what they need because
Mm.
they need to walk through the experience so that they can identify what their break is,
So you're
right?
saying, so basically we have all these breaks because we have the need to experience those
Exactly.
breaks so
Yes.
that we can work on ourselves and rise beyond to the highest level of
Right.
consciousness.
You said it perfectly before when you started this onset of our discussion. You said stripping away. And that's what we're doing. We're repairing the brakes so that we can strip away all of our attachments. Those attachments are what hold us in bondage. We don't even realize it.
Yeah, we don't. I
You know,
guess until we really start suffering or have really extreme situations, then we start looking at ourselves and think something is going wrong here, and
mhm,
then probably look within us to repair
yes.
that. Yeah.
Exactly. But the brakes, the repair of the brakes is what I began very early on because I realized I was very much alone, feeling
Mm-hmm.
lonely at the time when I left my law practice and I left everything that I knew. It was pretty incredible because I would sit back and say, oh my God, this is horrendous. Why am I feeling this? So I
Mm.
had to identify what it was that I was holding on to. And when
Right.
I was able to identify it, and I said, wait a minute, I'm creating this out of my mind. I'm creating this experience, and then I keep expanding it.
But how did you know that you are the one creating it? Because most of the times we are looking at external situations thinking people are doing something to us.
I
How
know,
did
and
you realize?
you know what the funny thing is, Siley? There was no one there to do it to me but to me.
Ah, you were alone. So you
I was,
realize it's, yeah.
and it was very vital. And what happened was, and I don't mean that you have to be alone. I did because it was part of the fear that I had. You know, detaching from everything, um,
Yeah.
eliminating everything in my life. Well, I had to do it. And it was a step by step thing that I had to do. Um, I don't feel like I was on a journey. However, I had to strip away those things that were holding me in bondage.
So let's look at the repair now. So suppose we identify a break within us. So break could be anything like, as you said, lacks. For example, if I'm feeling that I don't have enough money to do something. And so how do we start the repair? Like what do
Okay,
we?
the beginning is to identify, as you
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
Identify what it is that we're holding on to. And then stop for a minute and say, wait a minute, I'm creating that. I'm
Hmm.
creating that out of my mind. However, I know that I have the limitless potential. So, how do I get there? So, what I would do is begin the work of transforming that energy and saying, this is not real. This is the illusion from my mind. If I shift it, then I can realize the pure love of self. As you're doing that, Siley, what happens is you begin to realize the love of self. Because every time you repair a break, it gets clearer and clearer to you.
So you, so I followed you till the part that we identify, we remember that we are the one
You're the
creating it,
creator, correct?
and we actually have the ultimate potential. But how do
Right.
we really shift that energy? That's the part I always get stuck on.
Okay, you get stuck on it because you have to continue doing it. Remember this. Our consciousness has taken lifetimes, including the DNA of our parents and our grandparents, and on and on and on. It's
Yeah.
taken a long time to build that foundationless foundation because it's a broken foundation. You know, if there's
Yeah.
breaks, it's broken.
Yeah.
It's
It
broken.
is.
So, what happens is you need to continue doing that. I didn't look at this from the first time and say, okay, my lack, I'm creating it.
Mm,
Therefore, if I unconditionally love, then I'm not going to lack anymore.
mm.
That's from the mind at
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
However, when you finally get to beyond the mind, then you begin to realize the heart, begin to feel you.
Mm.
Begin every step. It has to come from the feeling. If you're coming from the mind, I'll tell you what, you could do it from now till doomsday. It's not going to do anything. You have to get beyond the mind. And then what happens is you find that you're beyond the experience of lack. You no longer need lack because you're realizing, I am the whole. I
Wow.
am. And you're
Yeah.
doing it through your heart now because you're feeling the love. The lack is what is resisting the grandness of your truth.
Yes, yes. And you're right. I think as we begin working, initially it's just a concept in the mind, but you have to work on it multiple times to
Right.
finally go beyond the mind and feel the truth of it really in your heart. And that's where I think the energy, the whole mind body energy is finally shifting.
Exactly right.
And it may take as long as you need,
Well,
probably.
I mean, for 3.5 years,
Yeah,
I worked on self
you did.
until I
Yeah.
could really feel the pure love of my heart. And I recognized that I was overcoming, and I went, wow, this is something so beautiful because I'm now feeling
Mm.
unattached, total detachment with pure love.
Yeah. I think many times when I have felt my energy shifting, the feeling has always been of feeling lighter and that, you're not, the heaviness is gone. Like, it's not like very exciting feeling or anything. It's just feeling lighter and a little freer than what you were before. And I think that's
Exactly.
where you're, yeah,
Exactly. And then
releasing
what
the bondage.
happens, Siley, is you begin to feel the joy in everything. And you can always feel unconditional love, regardless of the experiences that are around you, because you realize that every person is realizing what they need. In the
Mm.
infallible way, our needs respond to our consciousness. If we don't fix what we need, if we don't repair those breaks, we never rise to limitlessness. We are stuck there. We're victims. I met with a lady yesterday, and she was a significant victim of her own
Yeah.
body. And we began to have an interaction. She was a churchgoer, she was religious, she prayed all the time. And I
Mm.
said to her, but you're not realizing who you are. Because
Mm.
God is not separate from us, God is here.
Yeah.
Whether you call this the creator of the universe, it's all in you. And as long as we're separate, we break. We're broken.
Yeah, we are broken. And people actually know it. Like, if at all I say to anyone that, God is in each one of us or we are part of it, they're like, yeah, 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 that's all true. But, I'm still broken. So they
Right.
don't really
And there are
accept it.
many people that don't care. Remember, many are called, but only few respond. I don't buy it because I think when people truly realize what their power is, they're going to respond. But you know what? The demonstration is very vital. It's a demonstration by each one of us.
Yeah. So all we can do is work on these breaks as we keep experiencing them, identify them, and transform that energy. And as you keep shifting, you become the demonstrator of how you can really do it. Because it's not, even though we're talking about how to do it, it's really more experiential. And so people can just see that shift and they probably can work on themselves through that.
Well, yeah, the shift, and you know what? The time does come and you don't have experiences anymore. It's just a very different situation that you're dealing with because you're beyond the experience. Because there's no duality. You realize there is one, that the
Hmm.
omnipresence of God is everywhere. That's what people don't remember. Um, I said it to a lady, very significant lady. She said she was complaining about something, and I said, "Well, where do you think God is in that situation?" "Oh, that's Satan." "Well, what do you think Satan is? Isn't Satan part of God too? Isn't that what we're creating so that we could identify what we are in terms of our resistance? That's our break."
Yeah. Jules, what do you say to people who say that there is no God? Like, suppose atheist.
And that's
Um,
fine
even.
too. I mean, I don't try to convince people. I know that there is a creative energy. I mean, you
Hmm.
look around, and I'm looking right now, and I'm seeing the beautiful geese on the lake, and I see the birds flying. Well, there is a creator, and that creator is connected to us. So whether you call that creator God, the creator, or just a part of who we are,
Yeah. Yeah. I
because
think the word sometimes creates
labels,
that,
right?
yeah, labels
The
create that
labels don't mean
immediate
anything, do they, Siley? The
true.
labels don't mean anything.
Yeah, you can just say universe, the existence, whatever it is that you resonate with, because it's all one anyway.
Yes, it's one.
So,
Yeah, and as long as, and the most beautiful way to express it is one with the creator. I mean, it takes the energy out of that label because that's what we've learned. I mean, if for as
yeah,
long as I could remember, I was a prayer. I had to say a prayer before I went to sleep. I had to say a prayer. Well, you know what a prayer is? Nothing other than our consciousness, Siley.
yeah. And we are constantly projecting it, constantly praying
Exactly.
whatever we are
So
thinking.
every time we're expressing a, okay, so if I'm expressing lack, what am I praying for? Lack,
Yeah, more
right?
lack.
More
Right.
lack.
So, I just want to go back to this. A while ago, you said that you reach a state where there are no experiences.
Yes. When you get
So, how?
beyond, okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So, are you saying that like you have no experiences at this point?
No, I see that I'm beyond experiences because I recognize that when individuals have situations and occurrences in their life, they have needs, and that what they're doing is walking through those needs.
Right.
Okay, they're walking through those needs. Am I having experiences? I never feel experiences anymore. Experiences are needs. Now, do I see, if I turn on the news, I see people needing experiences. That's what's happening. You turn on the news in the night or in the morning, and you say, wow, a lot of creation here, but that's all the breaks. That's the resistance. Am I having it? No, because it's no longer affecting me. I realize
Let me
what it is.
just clarify this. So, you're calling something an experience only if it affects you.
That's correct.
So, right now
Because
we're interacting. It's an experience, but it's not an experience the way you're saying because it's not affecting you
that's right.
or me. Right.
Experience includes the thoughts and the actions, things that are going on. Um, I have nothing that's affecting me.
Hmm.
I just see the beautiful birds, loving,
Wait,
gentle.
they're surely giving you a lot of joy, though.
Oh my gosh. It's joy, every bit of it's joy. Whether they're here or not,
Right.
perfectly joyful. But it's so much fun just to see. Here they are swimming. They're swimming around. They're getting their food. They put their beaks down in the water, and I say,
I,
"Ah,
I just realized something. You said whether they're there or not. So, if you need them to feel happy, then you're in need of an experience, right?
perfect,
Otherwise,
perfect."
there is no experience. You're just flowing, whether they're
Yeah,
there or
it
not.
just flows, and I've come to a place where my life flows. Somebody said something to me the other day, and he said something about a journey, and I said that gave me pause, and I said, "We're not on a journey." You know
Yeah.
why?
Why?
Because truth is already in us.
Hmm.
I'm not
It
saying
seems like a journey to us
it
because we
does.
are
It does.
shifting the consciousness.
And it did seem like a journey to me when I began because I felt broken. I remember somebody saying to me, my very, very good friend, he said, "There are no breaks." And I said, "Bull, I feel broken." But
Yeah.
he was talking from the mind, I was speaking from the emotion. So here we were. But as I repaired every break, and see, in order to repair the breaks, we have to walk through the experience. We can't just ignore them. I
That's
mean,
very
you've had
important.
situations, right?
Yes. So
And you've
sometimes
had,
what happens, you're in a situation, sometimes, in fact, most of the times, people are used to distracting themselves from an experience. Switch on the TV, go talk to somebody, or do something else. But rather, you have to stay with that experience, walk through it, experience it completely, feel the emotions. Only
right,
then you can transform it.
right, because when you have those emotions, those are the basis of your needs. I mean, they
Yeah,
help you to see where your consciousness is being expressed. Why are you creating lack? Why are you creating illness? Why are you creating relationship discord? And they're all premised in what our thoughts are. See, the thoughts are experiences, the emotions are the experiences, on and on.
yeah. The thoughts and emotions, they're all part of our mind, and that's how we project the break, right?
Exactly.
So, and the once we transform that, those thoughts don't come to our mind
That's
at
right.
all. Yeah.
That's right. You
Ah,
just
beautiful.
flow.
Yeah.
And you're beautiful. You're
Yeah.
beautiful.
I love this work. I mean, it's hard work, it's constant work. No idea when it's going to end or what, but it's the most
Um,
important work.
can I give you an answer on that?
Yes,
When
please.
it's going to end? Never. It just keeps
Oh,
expanding.
oh,
Into
is it? So,
limitlessness. Limitlessness.
so do you still repair the brakes now?
No. I haven't had one in forever. It just
Right.
seems like forever. I feel like expansion occurs,
Hmm.
limitlessness occurs. The things that I have worked on in me, now I'm seeing the realization of. It's like the
Right.
birds coming here. Whether they come or not, sweetheart, you
Yeah.
flow. And you're always aligned with wholeness and abundance.
Right. Thank you so much, Jule. I think this was vital. And I think we'll keep referring to this in all our videos because repairing the brakes is the
I think
only
it's
way.
vital. I think it's
Yeah.
vital. And if you wish, we can go through some examples, and that's always wonderful.
Yeah, we could definitely. There are so many of them.
There's
Till,
I can go through some of my physicals. So can you?
sorry,
Phys- physical experiences.
yeah, yeah. The illnesses and yeah, so many. There are all sorts of breaks that we project and experience. And so, yeah, do you want to talk about it now?
Mm-mm. Well, I think next time.
Next
I
time.
think.
Yeah, let's do that next time. Let's take it one by one.
All right, my love.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing. Love you.
Thank
Talk to
you,
you
love.
later. Bye.